contains werewolves, aliens, poltergeists, and humans possessed by demons. Welcome to Chai High Happenings Halloween Special. Boo.
Oh no, there's a werewolf chasing us, Kevin Schmidt. So how are we gonna film this week's special edition of Chai Happenings? It's the Halloween episode. I don't know, but look, there's some conveniently placed woods that we can run and hide in. All right, let's go.
Go, run.
Oh. Ah! Ah! For all of you that wanted to hear more about the Washington, D.C. trip, here's Corey with the story.
Have you ever wanted to visit Washington, D.C.? Well, with Close Up Washington, you can.
Well, Close Up Washington is an organization that provides trips for high school students to go to D.C. and really get a hands-on experience with what goes on in our federal government. And again, we're going this year, April 9th to the 15th, and anybody's interested that wants to go, they should stop and see me.
Here's what Senior Tim Lease had to say about his trip last year.
It was pretty cool and I had a good time, so.
Hey, Ozer, this has been Corey Adams for Chai High Happenings.
For those of you who think paying for college is almost as scary as me, here's Beth with a story on scholarships.
Are you short on cash for college, and you just don't know where to find the money to pay for it? Here is Mrs. Haldorf on how to earn you some easy cash for college.
When you think about it, an application might take you anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours to complete. A difficult one might. If you get $100, that's $50 an hour for the amount of work that you put in. If you get in, $1,500, you make a lot more. So it's the amount of time that you put in, and it's not a lot. And if you look at $100, certainly you might be thinking, well, should I even go for it? At Madison, you have to pay for your books, and that could be 1, maybe 2 books. So I encourage students to try for as many as they can, no matter what the amount.
There are 2 scholarship boards, one located in the main hallway and the other in the guidance office. On the board, there are 4 categories listing the types of scholarships available. School-related scholarships, career-related scholarships, local-related scholarships, and miscellaneous-related scholarships. The forms can be found in the file cabinet located below the board. The applications are numbered accordingly to the scholarship cards.
There are a variety of ways that you can get on the internet and search for scholarships as well. 2 of the favorite places that we go to is called fastweb.com, and the other one would be Sallie Mae, SALLIEMAE.com. Both of these sites have free scholarship searches where a student would actually make up a mailbox for themselves, complete a brief survey, and after that, the data bank goes ahead and matches scholarships that match your student survey. Then you're asked to print out a letter of inquiry, send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and they'll send you the application. So the computer does a lot of the work if you take the 15 or 20 minutes that it takes to get on the internet and look for that site. There are some scholarship scams out there, and what we try to impress upon students and parents is if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
And remember to check the board every 2 weeks and fill out those forms legibly. You may even consider using a typewriter or word processor. It may mean easy money in your pocket. This is their best steward reporting for Chai High Happenings.
I don't know what the next clip is. I think it's Missy with her rabbit show.
Here is Missy with the Rabbit Show story. Here's Missy, the Rabbit Show story.
comes to cost, an hour spent in a vehicle, people don't seem to care when it comes to a rabbit show.
1977 nationally. I judge about 35 shows a year. We judged 45 different breeds of rabbits, standard and points, all over the country.
I have anywhere from 50 to 100 rabbits at any given time. But anywhere from 2 to 6 in the morning. Come home anywhere from 5 to 1 the next morning. But I'll tell you what, it's worth it.
The decision for first place may be a hard one. Rabbit shows can last anywhere from 9 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. Most of the 45 different breeds of rabbits are judged on body type, but some are judged on fur. In the end, you might not only bring home a trophy, you might also bring home one of these. This has been Missy Paula reporting for Chi High Happenings.
Oh no, Kevin's been possessed by a demon.
For those of you who want to know more information about the Bible study,
What Bible study?
it's the Bible study. Here's Dion with the story. Ah.
Who are you?
I am Gene Simmons from Kiss. Ah.
No, you're not.
My name is Lucifer Gusser. You can call me anything. Just don't call me late for dinner. Do you want to see Dion with the Bible study or not? Go to the crib. Ah.
I didn't know there was a, that there was a Bible club that was meeting. I did know that there had been some different Christian groups, that were organized here at the school. Fellowship of Christian Athletes that meet, I think, on somewhat of a routine basis and rally around the flag and things such as that. But I didn't know that there was a Bible study group. Yeah, and I think that's nice. I think that with all the different offerings, that are available to students, extracurricular activities and things such as that, I see no reason as to why kids that share a common interest as far as faith is concerned, shouldn't be able to meet and have some partnerships and just get to know each other better and talk about issues that are of interest.
Yeah, I heard that there's a Bible club here. And I think that's a pretty good cause because I think it's a chance for the students to express themselves, how they feel is needing. A lot of times in our society we feel it's important to express ourselves in other ways and not enough religiously. And I think that's something that a lot of us could use a lot more beneficial from.
Some people need religion. Some people need religion. Some people need religion.
Chi High's student-led Bible study meets Tuesday mornings at 7:45 in room 140 to eat donuts, talk about life and God.
And because of sin, we can't get to God. So God sends Jesus to bridge the gap, and all we have to do is trust and we can get to God.
I can't make it in this road without him.
I need Jesus today to change me.
Being a Christian and walking alone is a difficult thing to do every day. The students believe that getting together and talking about their faith will make them stronger. All you have to do is pray. This has been Deanne Kosmicki reporting for Chi High Happenings.
I am Cornelio. I don't know.
Here's Ryan and Kevin in the air. And here's Brandon Walters on the air.
1,000 schools participated in the Net Day Game Show in Eagan, Minnesota, both online and there in the school itself. The prizes that could be won that day were thousands of dollars worth of software donated to each of the schools of the students who won.
Now, before the answers are given for the first 10 questions, I just want to make sure that you guys watch the whole show.
Among the schools participating was Chi High's own TV production class, led by Miss Eberhardt and Mr. Christensen. Also hosting the show was Chi High's own Brandon Walters, along with Julie Hall from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Robin Robinson from Channel 9, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Okay, question 21. The first state to have a complete B, forward, or C, love for life, or D, together again. 6 weeks, will each be.
As you continue, do you think that there will be negative consequences for small children?
Among the many things that happened today was that the local news showed up, taking questions from the audience that was answered by a panel of judges from the local software companies. On the whole, the day was a success and everybody was happy. Way to go, Brandon, and all of those who participated. This has been Nate Lang reporting for Tri-High Happenings.
We just started thinking, how can we tie in Halloween with Romeo and Juliet? Romeo and Juliet isn't really that scary. But then we started thinking Dave Levinsky in a leotard was a pretty scary thought. So here's Josh Keeter with the story of the play of Romeo and Juliet.
Production, Romeo and Juliet. Both nights had an outstanding crowd, eventually. But ticket sales aren't the only thespian fundraiser. Concessions also raise a lot of money. Tickets sold fast to see the wonderful cast. The Prince was effectively played by David Levinsky. Jason Stenner was Benvolio, and Paul Roth, Sonny Idso were Lord and Lady Montague. Scott Ramsden was Lord Capulet, and Alex Brown played Count Paris. Chris Cuter captured the spirit of Mercutio.
Madman, passion, lover.
Anne Essling was Lady Capulet, and Michelle Lang interpreted the nurse. The stars of the show were Jeb Ryder and Nicole Fashionbauer as Romeo and Juliet. Let's not forget the many extras who added color and dimension to the show. Brian Wilson played the fierce Tybalt, and the many sword fight scenes were choreographed by Chris Cuter. Here's Miss Eberhardt's thoughts on the play.
I thought the students, the cast, and the crew of Romeo and Juliet this year were stupendous. Actually, they made my dreams come true. It's exactly as I had envisioned it. From the set, the costumes, the music, the acting, every single thing. I'm really pleased.
Tragedy. And, well, more tragedy. The performance ended with a good outcome.
Uncomfortable for the rest of the night. On the creek. It reminds me, though, that Cole has a story on the Duncan Creek Project.
On October 13th, 1999, science students from Miss Walkowitz and Mr. Cloutier's classes went to some odd sites on Duncan Creek. The students gathered to take some tests. These tests included testing the speed of the current, taking water samples, and measurements of the depth of the water from one side to another. Students then recorded the results. The results were given to the Land Conservation Office. This has been Cole Capel reporting for Tri-High Happenings.
Here's Ryan with the story about Michelle Lang at an art show in Eau Claire.
On Sunday, October 3rd, the Eau Claire Area Art League held an art show in the Oakland Mall just outside of Dayton's. It showcased students that won an Art Student Merit Award. Jai Hazel and Michelle Lang was in the show.
I have all my paintings and drawings with me, as well as some sculptural stuff. I began art at Bemis Art School when I was about 4 years old, and then we moved to Wisconsin, and I've been doing art ever since. And the teacher at the high school, Mr. McCrary, is a wonderful teacher. He's the one who nominated me for this. This is one of my favorites. It's a self-portrait. I've gotten the most reactions with this piece of artwork. People walk by and they point and they stare and they laugh, and that's good. If art can get any reaction, that's wonderful. It's a self-portrait. People walk by and they point and they stare and they laugh.
Ryan Peterson reporting for Chi-Hi Happenings.
This is how aliens make music, and this is how humans do it with a pair of music-related stories by Raji and Sarah.
Last Friday, Chi-Hi's Jazz 1 participated in the annual Big Band Monster Bash. This year, the site for the event was the National Armory in Eau Claire. Big bands, swing cats, and freaks alike were there to rip up the floor. What you see, and even if you don't, be sure to watch both jazz ensembles on November 9th in the cafeteria during teacher conferences. Jazz 2 will play at 5:30 and Jazz 1 at 6:30. This has been the artist formerly known as Raji Alawardi reporting for Chi-Hi Happenings.
Cardinal's show is called Voyage of Life with 4 different songs. The first weekend, the drumline took Best Drumline with their solo song that represents adulthood. Everyone celebrated with a giant monkey pile.
Hi, I'm Chris Cuter. I play the bass drum, number 6. And personally, I think we did quite all right. I mean, could have done better. We could. We will improve. I mean, we did mess up.
year is the first year in 10 that Chippewa had a home competition. The local bands that competed were Kedding High School, St. Croix, Cumberland, South St. Paul, Menominee, Irondale, Merrill, and our very own marching band. After a successful season of marching, the Cardinals took home 4th place on the first weekend with Best Drumline and Best Color Guard, and at state took 5th place and 2nd place at Waunakee. This has been Sarah Hammond reporting for Chi-Hi Happenings.
Here's Kevin Bovey with a wrestling story.
Mark is going to be puzzles of human being and body parts all over the place. It's going to be awesome. We're going to bring my little sister. Yeah!
This Saturday night at 7:30, the AAW is putting on the Chippewa Halloween Chiller 2, sponsored by the Chi-Hi Student Council, Russian Club, Baseball Team, and Wrestling Club. The match will feature a 12-man battle royal, a 6'10", 650-pound mystery man, special enforcer Mark Johnson, and our very own Mr. Nervabig.
Jim Gagne, the owner of the All-American Wrestling Association, and I were pretty good friends. I helped him when he was in pro ball and when he lifted for state competitions. As a result, when he wanted to go into professional wrestling, I was one of the first people that he asked to help him. So I agreed that I would come up and help train his wrestlers, and consequently he talked me into doing the same thing. So then he and I now go out and we have a good time traveling around, meeting people and doing various things. That's basically what and how I got involved in this.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the wrestling thing coming up. I think it's a great thing. You know, I mean, everybody wants to meet some star wrestlers, and here's their big chance.
We became involved with this fundraising event in hopes of making enough money to purchase JV warm-ups for this year's wrestling team.
Going? Are you going? Yeah, I guess I am. Yeah, team's going.
Mr. Cable chose not to comment on the match.
I'm real excited. It's gonna be pretty killer. Mark Johnson's wrestling Mr. Nervabig.
The Russian Club is in charge of doing the security outside of the parking lot and inside the gym itself, and the chaperone or the ushering with the tickets, and also we're furnishing people to help Ms. Schradel with ticket taking.
Wrestling thing this weekend. It's gonna be great. I'm for sure going. $20 for
yeah,
ring.
I'm really excited.
It's awesome.
So I contacted Mr. Eckert. I wanted to know student council and to get a couple other clubs wanted to sponsor this. And Mr. Eckert thought it was good. We asked student council. They said sure.
I like their maneuvers off the top rope.
Money that the student council makes will go towards scholarships for seniors. And we try to give $500 scholarships or certain monetary scholarships to different colleges. So student council will use it for scholarships.
One of the coaches here happens to be a wrestler, Mark Johnson. And I'm proud to say that Greg Nervabig, who is a wrestler, 54 years old, that's impressive when you think about a guy getting in the wrestling world. We'll be here Saturday. We're selling tickets out here in the hallway after this is over. Get some tickets, we'll entertain you Saturday night after everything's said and done.
Wrestling, 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 wrestling.
Tickets for the event can be purchased at either Gordy's IGA or Pick and Save in Chippewa. In Eau Claire, you can pick up your tickets at Cassidy's, Cops Foods, or Cubs Foods. Doors open at 6 p.m. and remember, kids 5 and under are free.
Jinkies, it's a mask. Let's find out who he really is. It's Eric Schemenauer.
Would you like to find out some news in the National Honor Society?
This year, 67 students were inducted to the National Honor Society on October 18th. Students are selected to be in the National Honor Society by having a 3.5 grade point average, references by at least 5 people, and community service along with their leadership abilities.
Emily Buchanan. Jody Budd. Elizabeth Burrish.
Britta Christensen. Nick Crawford.
The speakers this year were Dr. Sauter,
We have looked to and relied on your leadership.
along with Dr. Arnett, with guest speaker Jerry Wolf,
Jody Budd.
Congratulations to all the new National Honor Society members.
This week's Teacher Feature features Miss Guard.
I grew up in Milwaukee and went to school in Whitewater. I got my bachelor's at Whitewater in business ed. I also got my master's at UW-Eau Claire about 4 years ago. I teach personal finance and accounting 1 at Chi-High right now. I started out at Beloit Catholic, moved on to Broadhead and taught for 4 years. Taught at Neelsville for 7 years and commuted from Altoona to Neelsville. Had the opportunity to go into the Eau Claire system, but I left the classroom and became a school to work coordinator, and it took me about a month, not even, to realize I missed the kids. So I came back into the teaching profession and was really lucky to get this job. I love it here at Chi-High. I especially like high school kids. I just don't feel I could teach at the elementary level, but the high school kids are really nice. Everyone here has been very polite, very willing to learn, a good group of kids that I work with. I also teach at the alternate school, same goes there. Kids have been great. Administration has been great. I really am happy to be here.
Thanks for watching this week's special edition of Chi-High Happenings.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Carve rule!
Hold on to you freshmen out there! Oh!
This is a song that's in night vision. Yes, it goes on and on in the dark. Some people started singing it, and it was in the day, but now it is all dark outside, and that's okay because we have some night vision on the camera, and that is really, really cool. Because I can see in the dark, and I can photograph it all, and we are gonna make them butts out of ourselves. That's okay, because we have night vision, and I'm gonna stop the song now.
Oh!